All right, everyone, welcome back. So
You know
I
what,
had
Ed-
some other conversation.
Oh.
You can say whatever
Okay,
you want.
so you just said
This
what
is
you
my channel, and I create this.
You just said what you just said about me saying a long time ago that I was a
Yeah,
morning.
a long time ago.
I was a morning, but you also said that you were not. Yeah, you said I don't really like to in the morning. The same time I said I liked morning sex.
I was being respectful just so you would pull your panties off more. That's just how that was.
You said that 4 years ago.
I'm telling you the truth. That's what it is. Like, you gotta have some swag when you're,
So
when you're wooing. And I'm still wooing.
why are you wooing?
Because you have to keep wooing your whole woo-woo.
Oh, like wooing each other?
Yeah, like you still have to keep it spicy and open. But anyway, this conversation wasn't about that part of.
I didn't know that you were recording.
This is about divorced fathers.
Oh. Look at what he said.
What's to say? Okay, cool. So
Why do you need to see things in a different perspective?
I think he knows that because I work too much. There's so much bullshit drama.
Oh.
It goes on every day. Same for him. He's got 360 drama all the time at work. So my son, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? 3 months ago, moved out of his mother's house. And I was the bad parent according to her. But I've always made sure that everybody had above and beyond and more, including child support. And how can you be 100% in your children's life when you're divorced and you're a half-hour drive or more away, and then the other person talks shit on you all the time, says how horrible of a person you are to your children, and then never keeps you involved in everything, and it says that you weren't involved. Like, I can just give you hundreds of stories. Like, how can a father, right? And this goes both ways. How can a mother who's, father of the children has primary custody, right? Or just primary custody means that you're every other weekend dad, right? Because that's the way she wants it. Not the way I wanted it. That's the way she wanted it. And it was difficult. It was like one Wednesday night in the middle of the week, take the kids to daycare and, run a business and do all that for me. Like, it was tough. So as their grades started to suffer when the children were smaller with me, I didn't want to stop Wednesday nights, but we had to do it. And have no choice, And Wednesday nights isn't a lot for parenting time. You work full time. You have to work till 6 o'clock. By the time you get home, get a shower or go get the kids and get them settled, and
9 o'clock at night.
there's no time for homework, especially if the father isn't a bookworm. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of fathers out there who are. And I will tell you, I am not a bookworm. So homework would lack on that night, and then so now it's Saturday and Friday night, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Sunday night back. It is almost impossible to father your children or mother your children on parenting time that is not 50-50 or more, right? So Anthony has always thought that I've been a great father, and I would challenge him if he would say otherwise. I would say now that he's older and knows, and Anthony's always been with me as much as he possibly could without hurting his mother's feelings. So now Anthony is a young man, young adult, 19. I am trying to father him now when I should have been fathering him more throughout the divorce agreement, which I had no control over, right? Zero control. And it's hard because my ex-wife was, you're molding and you're brainwashing your children, right, to be who they are. When your primary, why their primary Say it.
Primary parent.
Primary parent and has majority of parenting time, right? So, and this goes both ways. I'm not just saying that I did everything right, I did everything wrong. I'm just saying this is what happened to me, and then now I have my son, who I am trying to show him a different life. So I want to show you, I am a small business owner. I am a go-getter. I go above and beyond. I pick up trash. I look to hustle. I look to make money all the time. And then hopefully I'll be alive later on down the road to enjoy the fruits of where I'm trying to get myself getting into my 50s now. So the other primary household was more like my parents. So my parents could barely put money together to pay the electric bill or keep food on the table. They were the working people, and I would say with no vision of being more, right? And that therefore my mom's parents were that way, but my dad's father was a successful businessman, and my father always had those visions of being in business, but never could put those thoughts together. So my dad, I could always remember saying, "You guys should be in talent shows. You should be singing. You got 3 beautiful kids."
So he's no different than he is right now.
He's absolutely no different than he is. The envisioner. He has the visions, and he's smart. He could just never execute, right? So where my brother and myself, we executed. We said, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it, and we're going to put everything we got into it, and this is where we're at.
You very much so both of you did it.
So my parents were workers, and they never knew anything more than we're going to go to work, and hopefully we're going to have Social Security, and then we're going to die. And that's just how I think about it.
I think your mom...
If you don't do anything more than just punch a clock and then have other incomes or self-employed and making money or stocks and investments and real estate, you're pretty much going to be doomed financially. That's just me. So let me finish my story. So there you go. So my ex-wife is a worker. She punches her clock, and that's the end of it. So that's what she's been teaching my children, the life that I didn't want them to see. But the court systems, which are so unfair, have created this problem. And you wonder why so many younger children are screwed up. You have so many more divorced families out there that the kids are screwed up because they don't have 2 parents parenting them.
That's not true.
I'm going to tell you that's
not true.
You have single moms parenting, working, right? Just trying to make ends meet. And then they're seeing the struggle of that. So my children saw the struggle, although she had financial help from me all the time. But that's not what the story is. I'm saying now Anthony has moved in with me. He saw that life. And now I need him to see the other side of life, to where you don't want to necessarily, and I'm sure she's happy in so many different ways, and that's good. People who don't want anything more than just putting a 40-hour work week in and go home and put their feet up and do nothing else past that. I mean, that's all. That when retirement time comes, they're going to sit back and say, God damn, I should have did something more. That's my opinion, and you tell me if I'm wrong. But now that he's been basically raised by her 80-90% of his life, now I have to become more of an influence for him for where he's going and where he's going to be, because there's certain programming in him already that's just been there before I could nip it in the bud or work on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like the video gaming and the staying up all night, and many of his many great qualities, but some of the qualities that he didn't get from me is his work ethic, and everybody needs a work ethic. And it's just hard. And he's smart. He's not stupid. He's a good-looking dude. But I think if I was pushing him more with more parenting time, it may be a little different right now. And it still can change. I mean, there's people who just say, "Hey, I'm going to do what I can do until I'm 21, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do." Or some people, are late bloomers. Some people are early bloomers. But I'm just saying, for me, I'm becoming a father more now when he's 19 than I have ever been.
Okay, so your mom was thrown with 3 boys and did everything possible to make sure that you guys had what you had. She did a really good job while you guys were growing up, just to put food on the table. And she did it by herself. So, wait. So my point is...
I understand that.
So my point is, you and Mark saw that, and you saw her drive, and you wanted something, and you went after it. And you got it. You achieved what
I will tell
wanted.
you, we were forced more as young children to work because there was no extra money in the house. When my parents got divorced.
But you're saying that,
and there was no father in our lives.
Right. So that's my point. So my kids knew...
This isn't about you.
It's not about you either.
This is my video.
It's a point of divorced parents. So no, it's not about me. But it's you.
This is about how effed up the system is in New Jersey and ruining families.
You made a point to say how kids are with divorced parents. You came from a divorced household. I came from a divorced household. And my kids went after what they wanted and they got it. You and Mark went after what you wanted and you got it. Mm-hmm. That's my point.
There's a difference. You said my mom did what she did we were just surviving.
Right.
I mean, any other hiccups in her life financially, like the car breaking down, or a cold winter, where prices went up. Yeah, we were like circling the drain.
But she didn't sit there and wait for things to get handed to her, is my point.
No.
She busted her ass to do what she could do.
I will tell you, the neighbors helped, hand-me-downs helped. There was a lot of help from the people that she knew because they knew the situation wasn't good there. But we started working earlier, shoveling snow, cutting grass. My brother's first job was delivering newspapers before even I was. So he started working before I did. I was like, I was into girls and smoking weed and partying all night long. He really wasn't that person. So then after, we started, going our separate ways in life, he started before me, and I kind of saw, his life changing before mine, and I said, all right, well, I need to, start making my life change too. But this is the system is what prevented would cause these challenges for me. I had no rights in the courtroom. All I was is a dollar sign, and they didn't care about me. And at one time, I was paying $1,000 a week or more in child support. And this is in our streets. And I just started my business. I don't even know. I was 3 years into my business, and it didn't definitely skyrocket overnight. Although I did okay. And in the courtroom doesn't care. All they want to know is how much money do you got, and then the parenting time, and they use that against me because I was a small business owner. And could I have taken the children more time? I probably could have. But your family needs focus, and then your work needs focus, right? Or your work won't be there. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna shut my business down 3 days a week because my kids are sick," or something like that. You can't do it. So it was a hard balance for me. But my point to the story is that now at 19, that my son's 19, I've tried to become more of a father, have more communication with him. I think we spend more time together now consciously. He sleeps most of the day, which April's been working on that, and kudos to you. And right now, it's the weekend and he's sleeping. He did say he wanted to take care of Majestic yesterday when he came to the shop. And I said, "Hey, dude, it's raining." I said, "I understand it. You want to, do that, which is great." But you're going to save that for another day because I want to go have dinner with you.
Yeah.
You know, so we have dinner almost every night together, and breakfast almost, or whenever he gets up, breakfast. So yeah, it's definitely different. You know, I'll just give you a scenario. Like my brother and his wife have been married for 25 years. Kudos to them. And they both got to parent my nephews, the two nephews. And there's a difference so my brother's a small business owner, actually, a business owner, in large scale or small scale, it doesn't matter. He puts a lot of time into his business, even when he comes home from work. He tries to turn it off, and sometimes you just can't. And Tara has been way understanding on vacations, taking conference calls, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And even when he's on vacation, he's not on vacation. But being that Tara probably had more time with the children, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that, and there was a balance, right? So Tara, I know for a fact, was very involved in school and schoolwork, and while Mark was at work, he couldn't really be involved in, getting the kids off to school and getting the kids off the bus, and that whole progression of school.
He was still an active parent, though.
Still a very active parent because he came home to his children, where I could not come home to my children. Whole different environment.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of difference for him, and I. So we kind of just use that as a scenario that there is more continuity, absolutely, with parents who have equal parenting time, or not so equal, but not to the point that you're a half hour, an hour, or states away, right?
Right.
Because Val, my ex-wife, didn't have to go 30 minutes away. She could have went 10 minutes away, or whatever the case may be. She didn't have to go 30 minutes away, which makes it even harder for the father who wants to be a father. Because there's probably many guys out there who don't give two craps about their kids. And I hear it all the time. He don't pay no child support. He don't do nothing for his kids. Blah, 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 blah. I hear that all the time. All the time. So yeah, there's definitely, the court systems don't make it easy. In a divorce case with children, I'm a product of that, and it's been very stressful. I'm sure there's multi-billionaires out there that were divorced and probably could spend a lot more time, and maybe not. And who knows? I don't really know.
I don't know. I think it's awesome that divorced parents who know that they can't be together and can remain like friends and co-parent are awesome, and I give them a lot of credit.
Well, even when you say co-parent, I would go and have dinner at her house.
I know what you used to do,
but that still wasn't enough.
That just stopped 2 years ago. So
you understand? It wasn't that I would get there and I could parent my children for 2 or 3 hours. Like, they're coming home, she's working on forcing them to do their homework, or getting them to not run out and play with their friends, or whatever the case may be, and then cook them a meal, and then me come over and then have them eat or not be done with their homework, and then things that they have to get done before bed, and then have me there as a distraction. So co-parenting does work in some environments, but when you're talking 30-minute drive one way, by the time I get home after a 12-hour day, I'm coming over at 10 o'clock at night, I'm spanked, mentally and physically.
You would go over and beyond. You take their presents over there at Christmas at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You've taken them skiing. You've done a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah, I think I've done what I could do.
You maintain her house. Every time something broke, you'd fix it.
Well, my point is that now that he has moved out of his mother's house, and she was can't even say it, parent of primary household, with parenting time 80-20, let's call it 80-20, 80% in her favor and 20% not in my favor.
Well, even in that relationship,
very difficult.
Even in that relationship, it was always still her say-so.
Absolutely.
Like, you couldn't put your 2 cents in and have your 2 cents count. Like, It was at the end of the conversation is what she wanted to do, is that's how it was going to go. So you would co-parent, but not that your parenting
No.
had any influence. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I was just numbers plugged in and her benefit in the court system. So the New Jersey court systems are unfair. They lead to dysfunctional families. The child support orders are ridiculous. I've known grown men that had decent jobs who've have lost everything and moved in with their parents because that's how brutally murdered they got in the courtroom. So yeah, that's in New Jersey, people. Yeah, so it's not friendly. But it's very stressful. And sometimes April says, well, why don't you just back off a little bit and not work so much or work so hard? I can't do it. And, I still have.
I haven't asked you that in a long time.
I know, but because you've seen that I won't do it.
Yeah.
And what did I say? When Peyton is on her way, which is my daughter, now I'm working on my son. When she's on her way, well, maybe I won't have to, work so hard. Making sure that my obligations are fulfilled by the court system, to be honest with you. And that's basically what that comes down to. All right, so we are probably halfway to our special place. When they say gold fever, it's gold fever.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, because I look at the benefits of that, right? It's the benefits emotionally and for us, and then being in a different environment, getting away from, the walls of your home. And sometimes just sitting in your home being bored to death isn't healthy for you.
No. But sometimes I think about you and how active you are 6 days a week, and sometimes you need that day to just, come down from it all.
Yeah. But there is gold fever. Even though we're not getting much going, I got gold fever. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to me rant about becoming a parent at 51. Thanks for watching.